cube drafting. I'm presented with a pretty difficult series of choices here because there are a lot of cards that I would like and a lot of cards that and I only get one pick. The ones that jump out for me are Treachery, Edric, Deranged Tournament. On the other side of things, on the controlling side, Damnation, Sun Titan. On the combo side, you've got Show and Tell. This is a heck of a good pack. And I am not sure which route I'm going to take with this. Real painful to pass a Hermit and not get an Edric back, you know, like one way or the other. Here's the thing though, I always want to play blue and I will always play Treachery in a blue deck, so this is going to be the card that I pick. And we're just going to have to figure out what happens from here. Well, I just passed an Edric, so I really want that Mystic Snake, but that is kind of sending a wrong message. Then again, I know a lot of people don't respect blue-green very much, and so it's possible I could wheel the Edric. Old Man of the Sea's pretty good. A little bit limited, but not totally bad. It's, I guess, intended to be the replacement for Vedalken Shackles in the cube, which is unfortunate because it's not even slightly close to the same, but whatever. There is also Desecration Demon, which sounds really good to me. Then, on the other hand, I could take something like Bloodbraid Elf if I thought I was going to really get crazy with it, or pull Ukrainos if I was certain on green. I don't know though. I'm just going to take the snake, and we're going to see what happens with this. I'm going to go with my classic blue-green deck that I like to draft. Wow, these packs are just putting everything good in the packs for my colors, which is a problem. I'd rather have them spread out over 3 packs so that I could take all of the cards I want. I don't know how this is going to work out, but seeing a Tarmogoyf and an Oran Viper here in the same pack is a real pain. I like Viper a lot, but I just don't think he can pass a Tarmogoyf. Correction, I don't think I can pass a Tarmogoyf. Okay, so looking at this pack, there's some interesting things going on. Hero of Bladehold's amazing. Ob Nixilis is amazing too, but I don't know how committed I'm going to be to. Still, right now I could be a green splash, which is intentional. So I could take one of these other cards and then commit myself to a second color, or at least, or waste a pick in the long run if I decided not to be committed. Savannah is really good if I end up splashing white, but I think what I'm going to go with is Fertile Ground. It's mana acceleration and mana fixing, and I'm pretty guaranteed to play it in a green deck. It also works really nice with Tarmogoyf in the sense that it's an enchantment that might potentially get killed or otherwise make its way to the graveyard, maybe through Fact or Fiction. Okay, so I've already seen a Show and Tell and a Tooth and Nail. I know Progenitus is going to be scary. There's also, I think, Natural Order in the format. But I'm not going to counter draft. It's way too early for that. You have my Elder. Very good card. Works great with Tarmogoyf. Freyalise is a card that I love in green. But I think, as always, I will choose to take a well-costed counterspell over powerful other effects because good cards can be found, but good counters frequently cannot. Okay, so this is a little tough. I've got Repeal, Birthing Pod, Trigon Predator stand out, and then Temple of Enlightenment's not too bad. There aren't that many artifacts and enchantments for Trigon Predator to hit, but it is a good card. Repeal's just solid. Pod, I've found in this format that I just can't seem to get Pod to work the way I want it to work. So I think what I'll do is I'll take the more aggressive card and hope that works out for me. This is a little tough. Into the World, Time Mage, and Shadow Mage are all good. far as splashes goes, splashing black for a Shadow Mage is pretty appealing to me. Um, Time Warp, it can win games, but I'm not like super excited about the card. Into the Royal is just good flexible card that allows me to not lose if my opponent show and tells something that isn't Progenitus into play, potentially, at least. Bone Splitter is also pretty good, believe it or not. But I think I'm going to take the Splash Black card and hope that I can make that work for me. Well, Bayou would certainly make it work, and Confidant would continue to work with it, but I'm not going to pass a dismiss. Okay, so we didn't wheel the Edric, but we got the Hermit, so that's, I guess, telling to some degree. Can't splash a Desecration Demon. So we'll take the Song of the Dryad. It is a solution for most things. Again, not Progenitus, but most of the rest. Ooh, lucky me, I got a Viper. Now I got a Viper and a Shadow Mage. That's fantastic. And here we go to support our splash. Doubt I'll be splashing both black and white, although Caves would help with that. So really it's just how good is Phyrexian Evoker. I'm not a big fan, but I will take it because it's an artifact creature that can potentially pump a Tarmogoyf after trading. Maybe I should have took the black-white land, but I'll take the blue-white because it does give me the option to again splash. There are a lot of white cards like green, white, blue cards. Green blue wants to splash white or black almost always if it can. Occasionally red. It's just the nature of the deck, so that Fertile Ground pick's a little bit more valuable just because of that. And having these extra off-color lands will help as well. I don't necessarily want to force extra colors, but it's nice to have the option. So speaking of forcing extra colors, there's Rampant Growth, which will help with the acceleration and color fixing and also pumps Sleepaway. Then there's Tameo, which is a really powerful card for locking down a lot of... It can solve a lot of problems that are difficult to solve otherwise, and it also has the potential to win the game with the massive card draw. For example, you attack with the Ranged Hermit, a bunch of tokens with a Hermit and stuff, and then you just Tameo and draw cards off your own creatures. It's not too shabby at all. Scavenge Genius is a really good card. It doesn't totally play nice with Tarmogoyf, but selectively can save you from a lot of heartache. Overgrown Tomb is cool to make our black splash a lot easier to handle. I think overall, though, I think what I'm going to pick is going to be the acceleration and fixing. I just find that that's probably the most important thing that I can do in a game. So this is, again, tough. Preordain is like a card that I would certainly play 100%. Jace is a very good card. I'm not sure. It's not the best Jace. Obviously, the best Jace is still the 4-mana Jace, but it's definitely an excellent one. I'm not sure how well it fits into this deck. Replaying Rampant Growth is cool, but replaying Counterspells doesn't really work, and I don't have a lot of other things just yet to do with it. So for me, what it really comes down to is, and of course, Fetch Land is very good with Tarmogoyf, and although this is not really like, we're not planning the white splash, so the white-black Fetch Land is a low priority. So for me, it actually comes down to Preordain or Tysigr. And Tysigr is an absolutely insane card, and the more I think about it, despite the fact that it kind of fights with Tarmogoyf, it also kind of fixes with Tarmogoyf. I think Tysigr is going to be the pick. Okay, this is one of those feast or famine situations. We've got Pulse, which is great with our splash color. The rest also kind of the same way. But then you've got Pendilian Click and Remand, and Wall of Blossoms also, all of which are quite good. And I'm actually not sure what to select here. I can tell you if somebody plays a Pendilian Click and I have a counterspell, I'm going to try to counter it. It's hard to deal with card. Which tempts me to play Click. But Remand, on the other hand, can sometimes operate like it's a Time Walk almost. It also actually works well with Tysiger in some ways. Oh, I'm really torn between the two. No one's going to pass me that click back, but I'm going to take Remand anyway, just because I just feel more comfortable having cheap ways to push my spells through against another blue deck. Well, for me, this is an easy one. Sylvan Library is absolutely insane. It's one of the best cards in the format, I think. And this is a little trickier. What I really want is the Temple of Mystery to wheel. So I'm hoping that will happen, but the card I'm going to take for sure is Spell Pierce. Having just said how amazing Sylvan is, Spell Pierce is a solution to one. It's both a draft and an anti-draft in my case. Remove Soul is excellent, actually. I mean, things that I don't want resolving, Vendilion Click was one example. Windswept Heath is only halfway in my colors, so I think we'll leave that alone. This is a black player's party right here, but not so much for us. We'll take the Soul, and then depending on what wheels, we'll be all right, because it's either going to be unplayable or, I mean, there's a few things that we can use. We can use Cloudskate, Windswept Heath. We could maybe use Vindicator or Edict, so there's a chance that we'll get another useful card out of that pack. We're definitely going to take the Remove Soul. So we've been talking about splashing a color, and we may possibly end up wanting white cards. I'm going to really hope that we don't. But a great card for whatever the situation is going to be is Mana Confluence. It's going to help us with our third color, as well as possibly rewarding us in the weird circumstance that we end up picking up white as well. Reflecting Pool is a weird card. It's kind of annoying because it doesn't help you with your extra colors, but on the other hand, one island becomes 2, one green becomes 2, and we do have double blue and double green costs. So I think I am going to go ahead and just take it. Alright, so I could take Talrand, but I'm not, I don't know. It's good if I have opposition. It's not, I'm not super excited about it. Personally, I would rather just not get mana screwed, so I'm going to take the Orgrimmar too. Besides, a Shadow Mage that you can't play on turn 3, that you have to wait, extra turns to play, it loses a lot of punch. So I can either draft or counter draft here. Heights is actually would be playable if the splash had been white. I'll just take Loxodon and Warhammer, and the reason I'm taking it is because I might play an aggressive red deck, and it's a pretty good sideboard card. So I don't actually have a lot of Planeswalkers yet. In fact, I have none, and I would like some for Tarmogoyf in particular. But I think I'll just take Wall of Blossoms because I really like having a cheap mana curve, and I like having a lot of card drawing. I like things that smooth out my draws as much as possible. Visit Charm is a great splash card if you're playing red. Spectre, double black, not going to happen, but single black. It's possible I could need this against the combo deck, so I'll take it. All right, we've got the wheel on the Temple. That's what we were hoping for. Now we've got Temple of Melody and the other one. And Edict could have some use. Hey, look at that, another splash card. So green-black is going to be no problem. Green-black-blue looks like it's going to be no issue. And I really don't think, given how good the deck is already, I really don't think we're going to splash white. Plus, we've already seen the Vindicate pass us by, and that's one of the cards that would compel us. It's an interesting pack. There isn't a lot in this pack here for us, but there's a little. This is a little tricky because I'm torn between Ashiok and the Frost Titan, and Thrun is really good too. I don't know. The thing about we've got so many dual lands that Ashiok is actually like getting the mana for him should be no issue, which raises it up in value. And Ashiok, I did want Planeswalkers for Tarmogoyf. Ashiok is also one of those cards that can hands down just win a draft on its own. And in a deck like ours that's got a decent amount of creatures, Ashiok's really good because it can be hard for them to get through and actually kill him. And for all those reasons, that's going to be my pick. So there's a card that you would want to splash white for, Swords to Plowshares. But we have a lot of good cards in here. I don't actually have enough card drawing. I have Tysigr and Sylvan Library. I'm not sure, like, you know, Wall Blossom sort of, or Man. But I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I've got Viper and Shadow Mage. So, I mean, maybe Fact or Fiction is the way to go. It's certainly amazing with the Goyf. But then there's a dual land over here that's really enticing. I have no fetches yet, which is unfortunate. But so there's a dual land that's really enticing. There's a Muldrifter who can kill himself, which can be good. Psychotog obviously seems to have some play with Tarmogoyf in some ways. Garruk is an incredible late game bomb, I think. So what do I want here? I think I'm actually just going to take the Fact or Fiction because of where the curve is on my deck and how I expect things to play out. Don't really have a lot of removal. How does this work? Put that card in your hand, the rest on the bottom. God, just through the Breach deck, whatever, I'm going to be really, like, unhappy to face that deck. There's a sorcery I can put in the graveyard right away. But how many sorceries do I actually have? Almost none, right? Rampant Growth. So Probe's kind of good. I really like the power of Cyclonic Rift. I don't have a tremendous amount of mana generation, so it's not likely to be kicked, which is certainly a problem. There is Shaman as well, which is a pretty nutty ramp card, and it can be a nice mana fixer. It also goes nicely with Snake. So a lot of options here. I think I'm actually going to take the Probe, though. I just want to cycle through my deck early. Alright, Chasm Stalker is almost a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. That card's fantastic. I'd really like to see the City of Brass come around. Indrik Stompowler would be nice. Not much else out of here, like, leaps out and grabs me, but I'm going to take the Chasm Stalker for sure. Chasm Stalker Sylvan Library is a card that won my last draft. Certainly will give it an opportunity to do the same again. Alright, so blue-black duel, blue-green duel. There's Impulse, which is really good. But maybe not as, like in here I'm going to be fairly proactive, like around this mana curve, and be trying to play cards as much as possible to the table, which means Impulse would be more of like a mid-game play. I'm not sure that how much I'm going to need it. I think I'd rather just have some straight up fixing. I don't think I need any more splash color fixing, so we'll just take the Harbor. Well, that's an easy pick for me. I would like the Underground Sea, of course, but an Ophiomancer can actually be a good card. Venfine's okay. Looter Venfine would be a combo, but they're in the same pack. Not a big fan of Greaves, so I'm just going to take Forbid, though. It's pretty easy for me. So I don't really have a lot of top-end stuff. And I could take Kaiga as a result of that. Having an extra control magic doesn't suck. But then again, my late game will hopefully be like some kind of combination of Forbid and Shadow Mage or Viper or Sylvan Library or Tysigr. Like, it's going to be a lockdown. So in case I have to blow the Forbid early, I'm going to actually just take... Although I will say Baloth is a little tempting, but I think I'm going to take the Regrowth here and just take the flexible option. Alright, well, an artifact for Tarmogoyf and a mana ramp spell and a fixer. I just took a Regrowth, so I probably don't need another one. And then the rest of the stuff, none of it is like particularly appealing, so we'll take this all. Alright, so do I have a black? I have overgrown tomb that I can search for. I don't have anything else, but that'll be enough, hopefully. So we'll put the bloodstained mire in here. Alright, so lots of possible cards here. Really just depends on how late the game goes. The Cursor Golem's interesting because it's kind of like a deranged term. It's also an artifact, but I think I'll just take the Garrick, and in long games that should come in handy. Alright, Rift is fine as a card that I may end up playing in the main. I take Badlands to throw people off. I think I'll take City Brass. So, funny, this deck actually could run Arena, which is weird, considering black is a splash, but holy smokes, I have a ton of black sources. I don't know about that, though. I'll just take more black. Sack a creature to gain life. In a 3-color deck, I'll end up producing colorless. Not that great. It works alright, so I think I'll just take the few months for that. And I have no choice on the host. It is a bit of a combo if you answer else. Alright. So, get over there. Song of the turning a card into a forest, giving my opponent mana, is not a play that I would ever want to make, so I'm not going to slot that for the main deck here. It is a play I could bring in an emergency. If my opponent does try to cheat things in the play, and the things that they're cheating in the play happen to be solvable with Rift and Song, not like, again, not Progenitus, then, you know, that's something. Excuse me. I do feel Rift may have a place in here, because this deck wants to be reactive, but it also kind of has to tap out at times, and Rift lets me undo issues that could arise from that. Still, I don't know for sure that it belongs. Rift also does work nicely though with counters. Lets me, you know, put something back in his hand. I can afford to 2-for-1 myself on and then counter it. Or in the case of Dismiss or Snake, it's not even a 2-for-1. Because I'll get value back. So Inquisition's also like really interesting. Could be a main deck card. You can see how it would affect me here. It's also a way to stop that and click that past. Still, I really like this deck. The way that it is, the curve is like incredible. The only thing that I'm missing here that I didn't see any of is Bird of Paradise and Llanowar Elf type effects. Real bummer in that. Noble Hierarch, any of that would have been fantastic, but we do have some ramp at 2 with the Fertile Ground and the Rampant Growth. So, and then we have the acceleration at 4 with the Solemn. So we're not totally slow, but yeah, just a question of Rift or no Rift. Eric is such a beating too. I feel bad like not playing this card. I almost feel like it should be in here. It's just I don't like having a handful of stuff that I want to deploy. I want to win because with my mana curve, I don't really want to win with like tapping out to cast bombs over and over. It doesn't really work that well with counter spells because I mean, not unless you have a deck with like Gilded Lotus and a bunch of other really powerful ramp cards. I think we're okay. I think this looks really good. I've got Edict that I can bring in. If my opponent does cheat a Progenitus into play and he's doing it with a low creature count, then Edict will be useful. I've got a lot of anti-cheat cards here. I've got some anti-combo cards. And if my opponent's playing, I've got this for something like Sneak Attack, possibly. If they're playing aggro, I've got Hammer and Ophiomancer is actually pretty good. I could even bring in Elixir depending on how much direct damage I have, so I feel pretty good about all that. Let's see what the deck suggests for basics. 8, 5, and 3, so we'll start with that. I know for sure, of course, we're going to use the Overgrown Tomb in place of one of the swamps. We'll use Bloodstained Mire in place of one of the swamps. We need more blue. We're going to take out an island and put in Temple of Mystery. That'll give me some more green as well. We can use Temple of Malady in place of one of the forests. I actually am thinking about not running the Tomb Bloodstained Mire combo, just so I don't have to run a basic swamp at all. The only drawback is that, well, if I take the swamp out and I put this in, that's more green. I can take out a forest for Llanowar wastes. I can take out a island for Hinterland Harbor. I can literally, but I do need at least one. I kind of want one swamp because, well, first off, I have a second target for this, and second off, I have a rampant growth target. But maybe that's silly because, I mean, how much black do I actually have already? I mean, I've got a freaking ton, right? And I don't even have it all in there yet. So I can actually just go down to 2 forests and drop an island and drop an island. And we've got six basic lands. This is almost like constructed level dual lands. Am I overdoing it on the non-basics? I may be. I mean, I'm definitely using my life total here aggressively with City of Brass, Confluence, Painland, Fetchland, coming to play Tapland, Toxian Probe. So I'm using a lot of aggressive life, and then with Sylvan Library, that's a bit of a detriment. But like I could easily be overdoing it here. I kind of feel like I want the basic swamp just to have the rampant growth target and have a second target for Mire on the off chance, because sometimes I will draw the Overgrown Tomb and then Mire is near useless. It's possible I just want to play 17. Also, I mean, I have 2 rampant growths, right? I have the Solemn also. It may be better than something like one of the other Painlands. Maybe I have too much self-inflicted damage going on here. Also, the swamp will help with the Woodland Cemetery. Although, I really want a forest, right, for Hinterland Harbor and Woodland Cemetery. I just don't know. 17 might be too many. I do have a lot of, like, hard drawing those, so 17 could be okay. I mean, I want to hit a lot of mana drops, and I certainly have, like, ways to take advantage of having too much mana. Tysiger and Forbid, for example. I feel like 16 is the number, and I just need to figure out exactly how to make that happen. It's possible Gatoxian Probe just isn't important in here. If I stick with the 17 plan, I could cut the probe. It's actually possible that Inquisition's a better card. Certainly plays better with Tarmogoyf in the sense that you Inquisition a card into their graveyard, potentially plussing up the Tarmogoyf right off the bat, which is really nice. I think it's more impactful. It certainly works good if you have both together. Not playing the probe or the Inquisition is probably a mistake. Do I want to look at their hand, pay some life, or do I want to look at their hand and make them discard one of their better cards? I think I'd rather do that. So well, that's a fix right there, I think. But as far as what to pull. I could actually just take out Reflecting Pool. City of Brass, Mana Confluence. I've never had this problem. Well, I don't remember having this problem where I've got too many good cards. It's a nice problem to have. I mean, I could just drop the whole fetch idea, but I think that seems silly. I could probably pull an island safely. Yeah, it's okay to take out an island. I think we're fine. We've got tons. I don't know what I was thinking. That'll be totally fine. I've got 1 swamp for all my 1 black spells, 2 greens for all my 2 green spells, 3 islands for my 2 blue spells, but also I probably want to play another spell. I think we'll go with this. I'm kind of bummed about the Detoxian Probe not making the cut, but I just don't see it. Yeah, these other cards, I just don't see space for them. This looks like a really good deck, and I like the Inquisition quite a bit. It's like having an extra counterspell in the deck. Okay. I'll grab myself a drink. We'll see how this goes. This looks pretty good, though. I tend to play removal light, counter heavy decks when I'm playing. Okay. Well, it's going to be rare that I'm going to mull against that. And look at that. Maybe I should have. This hand is already. I drew Mire, Tomb, and Swamp, which I have nothing to suit it for. So we could get Sylvan down, but I think the right play is to ramp up a bit. Just want to make sure that I put it on the right land. So the question is which land to put it on. I could put it on the blue. Makes my blue a little bit of a target, though. He may have Vindicate, for example. I think I'm actually not going to use the Fertile Ground here. I think I'm going to use Rampant Growth. Because Fertile Ground kind of like was a play in a way. About that noise. It's not seeing it. Everything muted and it just won't stop. Maybe if I just turn the general volume down. Let's see if I can do that. Hopefully that doesn't affect the recording volume. It doesn't. So he's getting a little, putting the pressure on, of course. I'm a bit concerned about that. I knew that was going to happen. Alright, so what's the play? So it's Fertile Ground, Sylvan, or Fact or Fiction. Let's take a look at the deck here. So collection. I may need to put the Garrick in here. I may need like a higher end. Like I may have gone too far on the low end of the curve with the deck. So he's gonna hit me for 4. I think I'd still rather ramp though. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna make a island fertile. Since now it's okay if it does. Alright, so 6-man next turn. What I need is slow this beating down. Take advantage of this little hybrid. Combo, I guess. So it's a little slow. That helps. Alright, so we know for a fact there's a target for Inquisition. To get Inquisition, I may want to pay 4 life here so that I can Inquisition and dismiss. And then if I don't need to, I have Factor Fiction. So I think I'm going to do that. Now we can see what's going on. Parallax Wave is a bit of a problem. Fiend Hunter sucks to have to deal with. We'll take out the Blade Splicer. Looks like he's probably not going to have a play, so I should be able to Factor Fiction. We're hoping anyway. You know, I do need to actually draw something to stop me from dying. Let's hope to end the 8 cards I find it. Alright, so this is exactly why we have Regrowth in our deck. I think we'll take the Remove Soul. We already know he's got the Fiend Hunter, and we don't want that resolving, so that frees up Dismiss to counter. So we shuffle away one of them. Tarmogoyf is a 3/4, so that'll at least stop part of the problem that I'm facing. And I can actually use the Mire to make him a little bigger if I want to. So let's figure this out. 2 for a counter, 1, 2, 3, 4 for a counter. I won't have enough mana to counter multiple times. I could have put the land on top and then templed it to the bottom, but he's got Oust, which is 1 mana, and then he's got his Fiend Hunter, which is, this is a bit of a problem. I'm going to come up a little bit short. Which is 3. I think I'm going to play that anyway. Sucks to bury the Shadow Mage. I should have done it. May not matter. So if I play Tarmogoyf now and he ousts it, I'm probably okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Fiend Hunter, on the other hand, I cannot allow it to happen. Probably should have played a fetch here, just because like it would have been better to, and then instead of using the temple like I did. But He's got the house. Can't do nothing about that. Oh, okay. Well, I guess there's that. This is a whole lot of mana screw, or flood, I should say. I guess I was overdoing it with the land count. Was there ever going to be something? That's kind of annoying, but I don't think it's indicative of anything too important. All right, so what is he not going to want to deal with? Maybe 16 lands was too many. That's pretty interesting. Certainly got sideboard action available though. I think Edict is probably good against this guy. Hammer may be good. Garrick could be good. It just depends on how much mana I get, of course. Ophiomancer looks like it'll probably be good because it'll trade with multiple cards. Yeah, maybe I have a little too much mana around. Should have played the Temple also, probably over one of the islands, just because it's fixing. It's draw phase fixing, I guess. Let's think this through. Position looks like it's going to have a lot of targets. Something particularly wrong with this deck. We'll put the Temple in. I suppose Spellpierce may not be the best. Put Ophiomancer in there. And Edict look like it'll be pretty good against him. Possibly better than, say, and I have Trigon Predator too, would have been good in that game. I mean, I just got mana flooded, so I can't freak out about that. I'll take Edict over Inquisition, or other is effective word. We'll see what happens here. Alright, keepable, so this wouldn't have been better as an island at all. Wow, I'd really like to have that card. But I'd also really like to have I don't know, maybe this deck is a dog to white wing, I don't know. Alright, Skullcard has the potential to get out of hand. But not so much against this kind of stuff. Yeah, I can't get an edge. I can't get an edge against the white deck, and without any kind of an edge, I don't really see too much good happening. So I'm thinking about for good with buyback. But that doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm just going to cast it. I'm glad I brought in we need land, right? Now I guess I just lose. Well, that was really a shitty. That was a really shitty draft. Oh, there it was. There was the. So I think it would have been okay if I would have drawn it. Because it could have played the land, and then I had Viper would have killed off the Student of War card, prevented him from attacking. He couldn't attack with. Well, no, it would have first struck, but I could have played Viper into Solemn, and then got a land, trump block, whatever, treachery, untap, Strange Hermit to lock up the board. I mean, one land wins the game there, but that sucks. Let's do another draft. Let's just chalk that up to bad luck, I guess. I got nothing but land and nothing, or nothing but non-land, and so it was kind of game one and game two. And I don't know what I could have done differently to fix that. But I mean, to me, this is a perfectly good deck. I suppose I could have brought in Cyclonic Rift to just stall against this guy, but I didn't feel like his draw was particularly fast in game one. Mine was just completely and utterly without action, so let's try it again. Okay, well there's my favorite blue card, opposition. I'm taking that. The thing is that I really like Edric, but it's just not a first pick in my opinion. It's a pick you take. There's a lot of times, you can be stopped by any grizzly bear, or any board position where you don't really have a lot of attackers. I love the card, and I can think of countless scenarios where it's good, but it's not opposition. I don't know, maybe I overdid it on the black splash in that, but I don't think there was any card I drew that wouldn't have been in the deck. Like, I would have still played islands and forests, so I don't really think that that hand I had in the last one was the kind of hand where, had I not had the third color, suddenly I would have had a playable hand. I don't think that's the case. Alright, so yet again, we've got Pluto Delta is great, Days is great, Pact is not great. As you can see in that game, it certainly would have done absolutely nothing. Serac is pretty good. False, Buried Alive, Crux. I mean, all these cards are... There's a lot of pretty good cards. I'm still going to take the Pact, though. I don't know. Pact or Days is kind of a toss-up for me. They both are about the same effect. Ultimately, Days is better when it resolves. Maybe Days is the pick. But it doesn't always resolve. That's the difference. That's a really tough one. Depends on if I'm green X. If I'm green, then Days is a lot better than Pact. And I probably want to be green with opposition. I'm actually going to take the Days. It's weird, but... Alright, well, I mean, the best card in this pack is actually Lightning Bolt, but, No, I'm still going to take Rift. I think this deck will be playing it out. It gives me the chance to end of turn Rift and then untap, and then opposition lock somebody out of the game. Excludes an amazing card. Absolutely taking that. Alright, so this Garrick's pretty good with opposition. Definitely is a huge commitment to green. And I don't always want to play that card. On the other hand, I really like, I probably will be playing green, so Coast kind of like sounds good to me. Dismember is also a pretty good card. It's good removal. A little torn on that. I don't know. Free creatures in opposition sounds good. Let's try it. Alright, anti-opposition pick Predator or Swords to Plowshares for a White Splash. I take the Trigon. I'll try not to splash if I don't have to. I do like Swords to Plowshares a lot, but opposition is also a kind of Swords to Plowshares in a lot of ways. Every creature becomes a removal spell for another creature. I mean, I like the way this deck's starting out, I think. The thing about that dual land versus Garrick thing is that the Garrick is harder to replicate the effect of dual lands. There's a decent amount of them, so. Alright, well, kitchen things or threads. I think I'll take the threads. I wish I had threads in the last one. Thing is, you get 240 points for winning. I won 2 drafts ago, 240. I just lost one, so I'm still up 140. I entered this one with 100 of those points, 240 or 220. But anyway, so I'm actually up a few points right now, and if depending on how well I do, then we'll see. Really bums me to get wiped in the first round though, because all you need is a single round win, and you get 100 points back, even if you lose the rest of the draft. So you basically don't ever want to lose in round 1, and that's exactly what happened, but I can't do a lot about that. Ragtusk is an awesome card. Especially late. Blue-green is most definitely my preferred strategy in this format, but it is not a strategy I'll always take. I've drafted green-black, which was a weird situation, but I have done it. A lot of blue-green or blue-green X, and blue-white. Okay, I was hoping the Moloku would make its way back around, because Moloku opposition is just yummy. So Serac is certainly acceptable. It's on curve with Garrick too. You could have no board. You can play Serac, and the next turn you could play Garrick, and then make a guy, and now you've got 8 power. And it's time to get going with that. Well, I'm not a huge fan of the Colossus or anything, but it can be a problem for people. It doesn't have trample or anything, so it's not great. And I really don't like being in the 4-mana slot unless my cards counter spells or otherwise affect like the board or something. I like Den Protector a lot, but right now I have no real mana fixing, not a lot of card drawing. I mean, I like Regrowth. It's tempting, but I'd rather just kind of have the Elder, I think. Okay, cool, we got the coast anyway. The coast was clear. Well, I'm going to lose this guy. I could have taken the Goblin thing. On the off chance I splashed red, it works nice with opposition, but frankly, I would never splash for a card of that low caliber effect. Wow. Wow. So there's the Garrick we really want. There's the click that we want. Kiora's Follower is a great card. I certainly wouldn't mind it, but 100% taking base. Dang, though. What a pack. Probably not going to see that Garrick wheel. But I mean, that Garrick makes this Garrick look so bad. Face the Mind Sculptor. I will happily pick you. This draft's interesting because we're actually kind of counter light and our curve is off, but we're still early and we've got some of the more powerful cards that we could get. I'd like to see some alternate mana sources and a winter orb. That'd do. Maybe like a remand. Force of Will. Now I'm asking for everything. Alright, what are we going to get? Well, there's Sylvan again. God, I love Sylvan Library, but there's also Chasm Skulker. And blue, an opposition deck. I might rather have the Chasm Skulker. I don't know though. Sylvan is so good. Sylvan, I've got Jace. Just not sure on this one. Sylvan sometimes gets passed, like as it has here. Chasm Skulker doesn't usually. Can though. Just the fact that I have opposition tells me I think I'm going to take the Skulker. It's kind of unfortunate. I really want the Sylvan, but the other thing is that I've got the Jace too for card drawing, so I'm just a bit bummed about that. Well, wow, this pack, can I just pick multiple picks from here? Ponder, Fertile Ground, Tarmogoyf, Snapcaster, all freaking sweet cards. But what it comes down to for me, from my perspective, is that it's Snapcaster or Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf, as you saw, like has a big impact on the deck, on the board. We already know that; it's been known forever. Snappy's pretty good, although this deck doesn't really have a lot of ways to capitalize on him. It could. And Fertile Ground into Jace is pretty crazy of a draw. I'm leaning towards Storm because he just holds the fort really well, and it's another. It's just a marquee green card that I'll always be pretty happy to play. So there's Lotus Cobra, Phyrexian Metamorph, and there's also Collected Company. So here's the thing: I'm not super excited about this card at all in my deck. I'm not very excited about Surak in general. I'm actually really happy about Collected Company if I get to play it. The only issue is whether or not I can collect enough company for him to be good. Whether or not I want to play a Metamorph. Metamorph's such a powerful, like flexible, useful card. But Collected Company's ability to possibly put multiple creatures into play, I think is telling. I think I'm going to have to go with it. Okay. I'm getting these weird packs. Talrand's not really, this isn't really the deck for Talrand, I don't think. It does make guys, but how many cards do I have to trigger it? I don't know, maybe Talrand's okay. There's Future Sight, which is a card you can wait on, and then when you sign Future Sight down, if you untap, you just win the game. Port of Calling is a pretty decent card. There's also City of Brass to just smooth out the mana base. I'm not really sure on this one because I don't know. I've never lost with a Future Sight in play. I think I'll probably take it. Alright, well there's a nice decent counter spell for me to use. And then what I'm looking at here, there's Survivalist is it's kind of okay. There's Old Man or Force Spike. I like them both. I actually find Force Spike to be far stronger than what. I never realized how good this card was, but it's so frequently just one blue counter target spell. Old Man of the Sea is also very good. But I think just mana curve wise, I'd rather have the Force Spike. Well, Eternal Witness, in case they have an answer for opposition. One. Mana ramp and a on curve drop. It's awesome. I think this is like garbage. Crush Spell doesn't have any place in here. I'll just take Evolutionary Elite and sideboard it in if they're playing a ton of removal. So I can either anti-draft or draft. Or like think about, like what I might want. I suppose there's a chance I could draft white for something, so I'll take the dragon because it's a plains fetch card. But I'm not really counting on that. For the same reason, it's possible I could end up with a little bit of red, so I'll take Blaze Charm. There really just isn't a lot. Like I could have took the Cunning Spark Mage in the Charm. That was the other thought, really. But there just isn't a lot. Like I don't 20 cards in my deck, and I haven't even gone into. I have more cards I could use, and I haven't even gone into Pack 3 yet. I'm probably not going to be splashing. Now, direct damage here, or I could just take the Avenger. The Avenger is an interesting card since I have opposition, so I'll take it. We'll see what this was the one that put a green creature from my hand into play, then the Avenger would be far more tempting. So, even if I just get plants with no abilities, could be useful here. There's no way I'm going to use the retreat, so I'm just going to anti-draft the Bushwhacker because I really don't want to get overrun. But, hey, possible white splash, I guess. If not, then we'll use it to fix color. Perhaps that's stinging from the last class. So, this is nice, too, with the Kyora's Follower because of the collected company. Mana Curve, I don't like yet. I really want a big pile of 1-drops. So we'll have to hope for something to work out here. But, well, this is tricky. Control Magic's awesome. So is Misty Rainforest. Control Magic's not as awesome as it in a format with a lot of, like I've already got Threads of Loyalty and I've got Opposition, but then Opposition Control Magic is good because you now tap their creature and we're going to tap their other creature. There's Acidic Slime, but I don't really like, it's kind of a slow card. Misty Rainforest is tempting, like real tempting. But I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Control Magic anyway. There we go. Freyalise. Absolutely love this card. But there's also Abyssin's Pilgrim. Let me back up a minute. Freyalise is a much, much better than Garrett, honestly. It's also better than Future Sight. But then Pilgrim just lets me, accelerate a bit. And I don't have enough of that. Freyalise is the card I want. Pilgrim might be the card I need. I have no guarantee I'm going to be playing like extra white. Pilgrim may not be all that useful. It may be tapping for colorless. I'm going to take Freyalise anyway, though. Alright, cheap spells that I like. Brainstorm certainly among the best. I'm not going to take the Harmonize here. Alright, well I did see some fetches, so I guess I'll take Thunder. Some fetches in the pool. I suppose if I had the Pilgrim and I have Tundra and Temple, then the white splash becomes more possible. But the only card I would really splash for, there's only a tiny handful of cards I would actually splash for. Lantax, Swords to Plowshares, not too much. Appeal, Nature's Lure, Solemn again, or Hinterland Harbor. Kind of drawn to the Nature's Lore. Does this work really well with my 4 mana, like ramping and then collected company or Chase or opposition or something. I like Solemn fine, but Tanglewire is also okay, but it's sort of like a opposition that doesn't last. I'm not sure that makes sense. I'd really rather have cheap creatures and not cards like Lore. But then again, I do have Brainstorm, so I guess the ability to first turn Brainstorm, second turn Lore is a nice thing. All right, Reclamation, Sage, and Phantasmal Image. Now now we're talking. I already have Predator though, so I'm going to go with the Image, and plus I want to keep my curve as low as possible. Okay, so I've got the Path isn't quite a source of plowshares. I've got the Tundra that I can fetch for, so I could take the Arid Mesa. Again, it's a bit of a risk, as you saw in the last one. But truthfully, I'm not sure what else. Like Genesis Wave to me is too expensive, and I'm really sure what else like I might want. I suppose the only other card I could take the Path. But honestly, I'm going to take the Mesa, and if it doesn't make the cut, it doesn't really hurt, because if it doesn't make the cut, then Path wouldn't have made the cut anyway. So there's no point worrying about it. So Mirari's Wake, Scroll Rack, Adakar Wastes. Not for sure splashing white, but if I was splashing white, then Mirari's Wake would be one of those cards that I would splash for, because doubling my mana and also having like Maloku and all this other stuff where I'm like possibly having just gigantic, all these tokens are just huge. Pretty awesome. Scroll Rack I like a lot, but not really without land tax, and I've already got Jace, and I've got Brainstorm, so it's a little redundant. So I'll take the Wake, and we'll figure out if it's going to make the cut in the end or not. Well, there's Genesis Hydra. Pretty good card. Not really like a card you can't really collect company it into play. But I could see a situation where I Genesis Hydra in order to dig for an opposition. I'm not sure what else I could even use in here other than maybe Kami of Ancient Law. I think I'll take the Genesis Hydra. We'll figure out if it makes it into the deck. Probably does. There's nothing for me in this deck, so it's just a counter draft. I guess Righteous Confluence is, I mean, I don't really. Story target monocolor creature. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I'll just take Righteous Confluence, I suppose. I have no reason. Yeah, again, up to X game Intimidate, that's usually Devotion Black. Menace. I mean, out of all these, I guess I would rather not have my opponent play like Poth, so. Vanishing Light's actually playable. Explore is somewhat playable. It can be mana ramp. I guess Explore can work with Jace. Vanishing Light could give me an out for a white threat. I suppose I'll just take Explore anyway. Whatever. I'll definitely take Repeal. What do I not want to see that much? I suppose well, it doesn't really matter. Let's take the fly. It doesn't really matter, it's just kind of a question of what's more likely to be the 23rd card in somebody's deck, the flyer or the 2 red card or the red-white card. I have no way to predict that at all. Okay, so pretty good start on this deck. I have to figure out exactly what I'm going to do to polish it up here a little bit. First off, I really don't think, I mean, as much as I like Wake and stuff, I don't really think that makes a tremendous amount of sense to bend my mana curve for that. And my mana seems to be pretty fine as it is. If I would have got a white-green dual to go along with the Tundra so that the Arid Mesa could fetch either color, then I think that it might have made a little more sense to have played those, and then at that point the Murray's Wake would have been pretty good. But without that, I don't think it's tremendously wise to do so. Plus I have like another 5 mana bomb enchantment that could make the deck. So the problem I have with Garrick is this deck wants to be heavy blue, and he's triple green, and so I'm not sure that that makes a lot of sense in this deck. Even though he makes tokens and everything, I mean, there's a lot of great cards that may not be using. Giving creatures haste, I don't know that that's going to be super great, considering that I have opposition and may not even be attacking with them. Explore is just one of those cards that I think I don't really have a lot of respect for. I don't hate it, but I don't really like it very much. It's it's a 2 mana sorcery that draws a card, and if you don't have another land, that's all it ever is. So I don't really like a card that might not do anything. 2 mana cycling as a sorcery is awful. Genesis Hydra, though, I like. It's pretty nice with Brainstorm and Trades, too. We can possibly set something up like that. I mean, I think I've got plenty of token making for opposition and creatures and creature theft. We've got Chasm Stalker makes tokens, Collected Company finds and puts creatures into play. We've got 2 different kinds of control magic effects. Aloku, Freyalise, and Thragtusk all have the potential to be more than what they are, as does Genesis Hydra. Phantasmal Image can copy various things and do good things. We've got Elder and Witness in here to possibly Elder for card drawing and Witness to possibly work with opposition while also protecting it by finding some kind of a counterspell. I have very few, only as far as like reliable counters, I only have Dissolve, which is the major problem with this deck currently, but I think it's still a really good deck. I think it can be fine. I may want to put Future Sight in here because it's just like, how do you lose if you get a Future Sight out? For the most part, you don't. But on the other hand, it's possible that it would be a little bit redundant. An Avenger could be a good finisher. But again, I'm not sure if I need that. I might. I have a decent amount of mana production with Freyalise, and then Elder to fetch lands, and then I've got Followers extra mana, which is always extra mana. So like over the course of a game, I could see Avenger actually being a thing. It's just, will 16 lands be enough? Or can I play 15? And then is Avenger better than Future Sight or not? And given how much card drawing I have, it might actually be, which is weird. It makes a tremendous amount of sense with opposition. I'm really thinking about running the Avenger here as my like top end. Those are just kind of hard to deal with. So I'd like to play the fetch land quite a bit, just because of the brainstorm effects that I have, but I don't think that's going to happen. And of course the Avenger, but so that's not going to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to see what we get with 15. That's exactly we got 8 and 7. We can put a Temple of Plenty in place of one of the forests just for the effect that it gives us. I'm surprised by the number of forests it recommends. I think with the forest searching and stuff, I'd rather take a forest out and add more blue than take a blue out and add more green. Seven green is probably enough. We've got Elder to fix and all this other stuff. Also, on the disenchant side of things, we've got Predator and Frailes, and we've got a bounce spell, which I'm really happy about. So it's just whether or not this 15 land deck will get me there, or if I'm making a mistake. But most of my decks end up being 15 lands with a lot of cheap, like, filtering and card drawing, and because I feel like much like, you know, I've got repeal and all this other stuff, so much like in the other game where I got flooded in one and shorted in the other, but I try to build the deck so that getting mana shorted happens very little, very infrequently, and that with a lower mana count, getting flooded doesn't happen too often, and I'm able to draw my way into hitting extra lands and then just win like that. Because my opponent, I just outdraw them in terms of card density. I mean, this looks really good to me. I certainly have some late game cards if I want to play like a long game against somebody for some reason. I've got this for somebody's let's see, sack a creature, reveal to reveal. Yeah, this is actually, that's a combo with all the creatures in the deck. It just hit me with all the tokens, like sacking Chasm Skulker and then sacking like tokens to go get creatures and bring them to my hand. That's actually insane. I should probably be playing that. It's also a low on the curve. Maybe I shouldn't play the Avenger. I am trying to play only 15 lands, although like Moloko and stuff Days can also mimic having extra lands because you can, you know, pick one up, put one back down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 islands, so we're good on Days. Oh man, this is tough. This evolutionary leap, I don't have enough experience with it to know how good it might be, but just the thought of like playing a witness on something and then eating a witness to go get a real spell seems good. Eating an elder doesn't really matter, I guess, with evolutionary leap, but things that I've controlled magic. What's the weakest card? I don't really know. I'm going to take the Avenger out, and we'll see. If I play somebody where we get, like, long games, then I'll bring the Avenger in. Alright, so we'll wait for this game to start. And while we're waiting, bring up the list. Yeah, I think maybe the Avenger is more like a if the game goes long type of thing. Okay. Got the Hermit in one, and I got the Opposition in the other. Yes, I would. No, I would not make more of them. Okay, so this looks good. I guess this is my Avenger. hanging. I was sitting here thinking, no Sylvan, no Sylvan. Well, he's almost certainly going to have an exclude target. Well, I don't know if almost certainly, but considering that he's local 3 cards and he probably wants to get on the board. I do want to get that temple down as soon as I can, but I mean, if he doesn't have an exclude target, then I guess I've got time to play the temple next turn. We're just, you know, clearly hoping to exclude into the case. Into an island rather than Jays. Now we can bury a card we don't want and then temple it away. So is there a card we don't want? There may not be. We probably don't actually want the island. Because I might be dazing here. Although actually getting might have been very reasonable, but I can't count on it. He'll get himself a flooded strand and go to Sylvan. And a Farsi, yeah, that's Alright, so I could set something up with Genesis Hydra, like I could Genesis into the Tarmogoyf, or I can wait on that. I can wait on that to get better. I could use Temple to bury the card that I don't want. Actually, I think this is Temple. That away. Right. And we're going to draw. And we're going to throw away, I think, an island. Glitch, so hopefully my game is still going. But I restarted OBS, it looks like it crashed. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize. I'm using Jace right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down Nature's Lore and Tarmogoyf on top. And then I'm going to go ahead so that way I get advantage on the board, and we can try to make that Sylvan Library a little more painful to use. It also let me shuffle away the island, which I'm expecting that I'll have an opportunity to daze, and that I won't need the island, but on the off chance that I do need more mana, Jace is there to help me. Sphinx. That's a good control magic target. A couple of interesting options with that Sphinx being played. I control magic that and he uses silver. Can't do it, right? I would draw like a million, or I could. So the question is, do I want to like rift here and just kind of slow him down? Because there's another interesting play. Well, if I rift here, I think control magic's the play. He may have Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares if he's actually splashing white, in which case I think that then Days will get him. So I'll go ahead and so there's that. Now we can Jace. Forest, and probably don't need, probably not casting Nature's Lore anytime soon. I'm really thinking about repealing his, or rifting. I'm thinking about bouncing though his bird to make Cyclonic Rift, Days more valuable. Let's try an attack phase first. Yeah, actually, that's what I'm going to do. I just want to kind of bind up his mana. I've forgotten anything. Can we kill him? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like we can. Next game. That works. I've already got Predator and Frailties for Sylvan, so I guess Explorer wouldn't have sucked here. It would have actually been better than Nature's Lore in this particular game. It certainly goes very well with just ramping in the chase. Kind of like Explorer. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I should play it. Threads looks like it's going to be good against him. A lot of good cards against him, I think. These and Force Spike weren't so much, but they can be. I'm certainly be happy to Force Spike with Sylvan. Maybe Evolutionary Leap can go out. We'll put Explorer. I don't really have much targeting my guys. Although it's got some keep this, but it's not. This is with the right mana. Oops. That. Sure. tell me that it's set. Feeling the bird right now. Full on notice effect. What's wrong about that? +1. No. We're going to actually try to brainstorm now because we're looking for green. Okay, well, we'll dump some double green cards. For no reason. I'm going to have to win off my blue. So it'd be a lot easier if I could get a little more mana. I'm going to try it. I could have done something with Jace, I suppose, but at least now. Could have like played Jace, the Elder, and the Witness back, and then that way. But. I'm really worried about Sphinx. He's got some kind of oh god. He's got a mana glut and a card and a handful of cards. This is exact kind of for around. Not really. Or that'll be fine. I think are we gonna get Genesis Hydra available? Jace is a lot tastier. It also stalls them out and gives me the board advantage. I think we're going to take the Jace. There's really in my hand, and I'm worried about consecrated Sphinx. That, on the other hand, I'll use some planning, so that's good for me. That does change things, so we're gonna spend too much mana this turn. because we want to sit on the counterspell. I think what we'll do is we can actually dump the forest back in. And then from there, what we're going to do is use his bird. Just saved. I suppose I could have saved for picking up dissolve again. Yeah, absolutely. Very soon, we're hoping to deploy the opposition in the Roku box. Okay, so we can use Genesis Hydro with Phantasmal Image in a bit. So we'll put a non-land with X or less. So could play that now. Might be a little too greedy though. Probably best to just get opposition down at this point. Because what would I want to image? No, I could image the Witness and then get a counterspell. I think that's the play. I'm going to put QR's Fall Horror back and put the Hydra on top. Because we just want to get the counter. Start chasing the Eternal Witness back, and then just we're just going to keep drawing Dissolve over and over and over. Of course, we didn't have a lot of time anyway, so take that win. Feel a little bit more vindicated after the horrible beating that I took in the last one. So we're starting off on the right foot. I'm just going to clear out cards I didn't ever use from the sideboard. Is it Charm? Whatever is this? It is. I just can't this. Out of my sideboard cards that I could see some crazy scenario where I absolutely had that visit Charm, and then bring in there at least Charm. Future Sight, of course, not crazy to play any of these cards. And in fact, I did last one. And then, yeah, let me decide what I want. But the fact that Eternal Dragon will cycle for Tundra. Actually, truthfully, no, I would never play Eternal Dragon. Not in this. If I were going to sideboard in Tundra, it would just be Arid Mesa and Mirage Wake. That's it. Alright, so it worked really well. What was the change that I said I should have made? Evolutionary Leap should be explored, probably. Yeah, probably. So that's how it should have been. So, good deck. Alright, now, I was just saying, now we just need to wait for the next round to start, but it looks like we're on track. In a minute and 50 seconds. Would have been interesting. If I didn't have that daze there, that guy would have resolved his his fatty, and I assume he would have killed Jace, and then he would have had the ground locked up. Certainly wouldn't have been pretty. I don't think he would have won anyway. I think that opposition. Well, I don't know. I would have had to get rid of his guy before opposition in case he had a way to kill his own guy and then trigger removal of opposition. Maybe. On the other hand, I probably could have just oppositioned and tapped it down and beat him with like the Moloku opposition combo. I really don't think that there was a lot he could have done to win, other than maybe upheaval. But excuse me, saw no evidence of upheaval in his deck. So 40 seconds. What an amazing game Magic is. So I think what I'll do is I'll go to my website, check it out. I don't even know if anyone's watching this particular broadcast. I usually try to broadcast in the evenings, like I said on my channel initially, but it's just worked out that I've had time during the day to do it. Okay, the queue is about to start. And woods. It's definitely keeping. Oh. Yeah. Check out my channel. Go through this every time. Check it out later. Okay, so he had no huge. Well, got plenty of mana, so I'm just going to hopefully exclude into something more. I've dissolved in case he's got like a green spell. Go. To play the Moloku, and the reason is that the next turn I can play have my Elder with exclude backup. But he's got removal for Moloku. Kind of sucks. It's not the end of the world. There aren't a ton of 5-mana creatures that are better than Moloku. There is, of course, Flame Tongue Kavu, and that would suck. And there's the Invoke Black creature, the 3/2 with Fear. That would suck. But it's just, this is what my card says I ought to be doing. That's fine. Can't get it back, but I'm going to pick up the Dissolve instead. He's playing. Good over Dissolve. Elder down next turn. I mean, I like my. And I have 3 cards in hand. Go from the land, sort of. Really sick. I mean, assuming he's going to play a creature for me to exclude. No rush, but this is weird. He's playing something with, he's exiling cards from his graveyard, right? So he's playing something with Delve. Murderous Cut? No, that doesn't make sense. No, the way he's tapping his mana now makes me believe it's Murderous Cut. Certainly not going to counter it if it is. Excuse me. I have another two, so I'm not going to play voice yet. Oh. Lucky I could play the sack the elder. Let's see if that works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Item. Alright, so -3 would kill him. +1 would go to 6 loyalty. He would get a card, and I can hit it for 4. I can take it down to 2 loyalty. He'll get to draw 2 cards off of this. So do I want to deal with that? Because this looks like the bait spell. I think my hand wants me to start deploying cards. So I'm gonna do exactly that. Chasm Skulker down right now. We know we want to get, so we'll go ahead and set card. Or we can play Evolutionary Leap if we think that he's. I don't have any green left, so I'm going to play the Torment. He's got removal, like Damnation, 1/1, which I can do Evolutionary Leap in conjunction with Jace to really fix. So, Chasm Skulker, freaking love that guy. Yeah, it's about that good. Well, what were we gonna do? Alright, we would put back 2 lands and play one of them, and then we would play Evolutionary Leap, at which point we would have leaped off one of our creatures in order to mill away, in order to tuck 2 more forests. That's 3 brand new cards, at least 3. Or at least 4 to look at. Because we would have tucked the 2 forests, and then we would have leaped into, I guess, Genesis Hydra, actually. And then for the draw phase, and then 3 alpha phase. It's pretty insane. Definitely. I like Leap against him, probably. I don't really know. I'm not really sure what his deck's doing exactly. Chameleon Colossus looks like it could be good against him because it's anti-black removal. It would be a good way to kill his black Planeswalker. Trigon Predator doesn't look like it really has a target in his deck that I could see. So that may be the card to take out. Although it does reduce the number of collected company hits that I can get. I don't know, Leap's kind of weird and gimmicky. I don't know about the card. I do kind of want the Explorer in here too, because I want to explore into Colossus now. It should have been here from the outset, so... could take out the Genesis Hydra. It's kind of a weird mid to late game card. It's a little slow. I think I'll take it out. Basically, I swapped out the Leap like I have been. Swapped out the Hydra for the 4-drop that I think probably better against him. I could hit a land here. It actually needs 2 blue. It's kind of a risky keep because it has nothing going if I don't hit. Like, I could have played. So unless he gives me a way to make the Tarmogoyf bigger, I'm not going to just play a 0-1 Tarmogoyf, I don't think. Wow, bitter. That's... Although then again, the Tarmogoyf can draw fire. Does nothing, it's fine. But you need to find a way to. And while the 0 ignore the Tarmogoyf, or he makes spend removal on it and then buys me a bit of time. Looks like a pretty good. I could copy that. I could clone that. Whenever another creature you control dies, Brian. Can't really get in there. For my other disenchant. I'd really like to kill that Bitter Blossom, but alright. It's wrong in response. There's no reason. Okay, so how am I going to... What is next turn going to look like? I can put back... Oh, I can put back lands. I have the island on top, so if the creature dies this turn. More interesting, I think, for him to prep for Overrun, but maybe. could play Chasm Stalker, and then I can still cast, if that makes sense. Wait, no, I won't be able to cast Exclude. I'll be a little bit short. So let's think this through. I can scry away the forest and play Moloku. Maybe Moloku's the way to go. It doesn't give me a very good turn next turn, because I'd really like to play that forest and then have Chasm Stalker Exclude available. So I'm kind of tempted to control magic, but control magic on a beast seems pretty bad. Control magic on Catacomb Sifter doesn't seem particularly good either. I do want to use my mana, so I think it's going to have to be Moloku, and then I think I'm going to actually scry that land to the bottom, because at that point I won't need it. And he's got 3 flyers, which isn't enough to block Moloku. He may have removal, that would suck. But then of course Tarmogoyf gets a little bigger, so I guess there's that, and I get to scry. Doing anything super great. And the Moloku play was certainly the right play. He's got a... Oh boy. I don't really think we want that island. Tarmogoyf's getting a little angrier. I didn't want removal, but I most definitely didn't want Braska style removal. I mean, I was thinking Maelstrom Pulse would be a problem. This is much worse. You know, he had... land on the bottom, it's still hitting land. Alright, so what can I do here? I mean, I can kill a fairy by stealing this Catacomb guy and then forcing him, he'll have to block to protect one of his planeswalkers most likely. I don't see that as being super great. Super great is just not a situation I find myself in to begin with, so let's just play Chasm Stalker. Maybe impossible. I mean, alright, I've seen enough. Blossom Endless Planeswalkers draw, I'm gonna lose. Okay. How do I deal with that? I'm not really sure. I mean, Chameleon Colossus certainly would have been helpful, perhaps. But I don't really know. What can I do differently that's going to matter? Hydra's good if it triggers. I mean, his draw was just so much better than mine. It's just the way that it is. Evolutionary Leaf looks like it could be good. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it too much. I just can't get a draw that's clunky. You can't get a draw that's that good, and I can't get a draw. I'm going to get Kiora. We're going to have 4 mana next turn, from what I can tell. If I draw a land, though, I'll be able to do Skulker. No, it won't work out. I mean, I could do I won't be able to do Skulker. That would give me the extra counter. So I think what I'll do is probably like play Skulker, and then I want to can't get Frailies yet. Could explore to draw a card. Yeah, what we want to do open Skulker. I can Frailies his protogram. Made a die though to Bone Shredder. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Kind of want it around so I can image it, but I could just spray in order to make a cut. I can play. You may like have. This is fine. He's trying copper bottom. And the Maelstrom Pulse, I guess? Top. to explore is good. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out. At least it's going to be harder for him to stick a planeswalker and have it live. I'll use this card. So what else can we draw? Plenty of good stuff in the deck still. To find out the case. Really played like really played a card that image schools, so I have to kind of hold image for myself. Maloku, if you catch that, so I can copy that. Oh my gosh. Dumb card. Image on his guy, and just that I can scry off of, like, so I can attack him and have him die and scry off the flyers. But I'm not gonna jump the gun on that one. There might be better things to target. Planeswalker that. Giving me fits because I can't get through the board. Small one. Something at least. Now I'm probably going to copy that guy because it's two guys. Alright, so we want to kill Xenagos. We can tap 3 blockers. left the 2-3 on. Oh well. I could try to protect my life a little bit here, but I think I'm gonna impinge upon his man. The other thing is that in opposition to City of Brass cycling. Alright, sure. Put a Garrick with your Garrick. Thinking Garrick. The second one. Yeah, this dude. It's just all planeswalkers. And that's a real problem. Well, I mean, I can attack and kill him too. He kills one of my guys, of course I get to scry, so there's that. I really need to draw, obviously, a non-land card. I thinned the deck pretty well. There's a lot of great cards that I could draw, so let's hope that we can find some of those. There was literally only one island left in the deck, I think. Anyway, whatever. Collected Company, any of this other stuff? Nah. We'll draw it. I really wanted him to actually kill one of my guys with Garrick over there. And hit him for 8 damage, just about. If I tap his blockers. And of course, City of Brass. Bitter Blossom, that's 9-10. I don't really have to get through for much. So, maybe smarter not to kill Garrick. Still. If I hit him once, he won't be able to kill anything without having the Garrick die. For a few, it transforms. Oh, I see. I don't want to flip him. Yeah, I really don't want to flip him. Question is, can I just finish this guy off? How quickly can I finish this guy off? He's not really doing a lot to me, so I could hit him for 2 here. He doesn't really want to alpha strike back. I hit him for 2 here. I could potentially tap the City of Brass for 3 and then cure his. Well, no, that's it. 3 and then tap maybe a blocker or something. I think it makes more sense to tap guys on here. There's a lot of expensive cards possible. Creature I don't want to attack or block with. I can keep him off black altogether by tapping his city or I mean, a creature I don't want to block with. That keeps him on 4 mana. I think that's okay. I gotta put pressure on him somehow. Okay, so he did what I thought he might do, which was to kill my guy, but remember it's a copy of it's a phantom, so let me whenever another creature I control dies, I get to scry. So I'm not gonna get to scry here. What I can do is tap something. Or is that 2/3? Ah, I'm shutting him off for black. Yeah, send some guys, please. Okay, so now we get to actually do decent things. We can kill his Garrick next turn. Or whatever. Something. Could be good. Could untap him to block, but I think it'd be better to send as few guys at his Garrick as possible. It could be wrong though. Still, it's one more thing for me to tap, so. Yeah. He's got a lot of mana over there. So I guess I'll just hold my guys and hope that he doesn't blow me out with something. Be able to shut. I can't shut off a color anymore, so I need to just kind of protect my life total and try to win this game. Because I've got 8 points of damage going on the board, plus a Seer Breath. Well, maybe I made a mistake. Oh, that's absolutely heinous. Alright, let's get in tap. Well, power control. So that's it. Oh, clock too. With Cura's forward, you deal 3 damage. Live long enough to win, hopefully. I tap 2 creatures, 1, 2, 3. Then I tap 2, and he just dies, right? Yeah. Just realized he died. Can't. What the hell was he doing there? Well, opposition's just like that. That's why it was my first pick. The double scry saved my butt, which is why. Oh man, that was a hard game to have to puzzle out how to win, but it was really good to get the victory on that one. It was a major puzzle. So yeah, if he didn't attack with his guys, then it was tap City of Brass, untap it with Cura's follower, tap it again, which would have taken him to 5. And then I would have drawn a land and done nothing, locked down these 2 guys. He can't attack me. He would have dropped the 4 from Bitter Blossom, then tap, untap, tap, 3/2, and then on my turn, I do nothing. He loses a life from Bitter Blossom, and then I tap it, and it kills him. The City of Brass actually, his City of Brass totally won the game because it allowed me to put pressure on him without having to attack, which is pretty huge, I think. So, that was my challenge. Where are my challenge? No, that's not it. YouTube's pretty frustrating in the sense that I cannot figure out how to go to the to my live channel. I have no idea how to do it. So I have to go to my Facebook page. And then grab my link. Oh, okay, it's just my name followed by live. I guess I can name it that. So this way, if anybody's watching, it's pretty huge, I think. So, channels. Where are my channels? No, that's not it. YouTube's pretty frustrating in the sense that I cannot figure out how to go to the to my live channel. I have no idea how to do it, so I have to go. Alright, so we're just waiting for my Facebook page. Here we go. Combo Man. Might be the guy that drafted all the combo cards. And then grab my. This is definitely a keeper. Oh, okay. It's just my. We're gonna get like some weird feedback loop if I for a few seconds there. I apologize for that. This is keepable, but it's not great. So let's hope that something great comes. We're gonna play Tom Boy. We've got Trick the Brainstorm. Not a very good trick though, so I need to find blue pretty bad. And there's none to be found. So how am I going to deal with this? Well, I've got Elder, so you got to think about that. Genesis, like unfortunate. Maybe I should have just sat on the force spike. Oh well. This is really bad. All right, so I have some options. I can play the Elder and then Trump block to get lands, which is probably okay. I can play the Predator, and then he can't get through, theoretically. I'm sure he's going to have more removal or some other play. But it does at least give me a chance to hold the board, but it doesn't really let me... I know my next card's not land. I really want land quite a bit, so I think the play will be Elder. And let's just hope he doesn't have Towards the Plowshare. Also, I kind of want to shuffle, because I know the next card is Tetra, which I don't really want to draw. Yeah, he can't send the Banishing. Alright, so I can block this, and he'll get no free 1-1, or I can block this and kill a 1-1, in which case he'll get a 1-1. Either way, he gets a 1-1. So let's block the guy. And few targets for a blade hold to control magic. So. I mean, if we get to untap here, we're probably in good shape. Nope. Well, at least we stopped it. We got a 2-for-1 and stopped some of the stuff that was going on. So the big question is, can I collected company into a solution? It's a hell of an amazing surprise trick. I'm going to try to pull it off, and we'll see what happens. We just have to hope that, you know, it works out. Otherwise, I'm going to take even more precedes acting meetings. I could repeal that, but I think we're going to have to let it go. That really makes the collected company plan worse. How big is Charmgorge? Is it 2-3? The other option is I can repeal Fate's Fetters. Yeah. Okay, that's all white creatures, but that's going to work out really well because it makes my Tarmogoyf much bigger, so that changes the plan a little bit. think I repeal the Banisher Priests and then block and kill this guy and get some time to develop a little bit. I think Collected Company might be too risky. Rift is good, really good. I'd like to clear out the. I'd like to get the Predator down and clear out the base fetters and the honor of the hero. So I'm going to try and push for that. I've got Rift to stall. So. Also realize I can rift the fetters even though it's over here on that side of the board. Wait, didn't I just kill him? Oh no, I bounced it. Right. It still doesn't really let him get through. For damage. So. It's funny, this is the exact same deck that I just lost to earlier in the last draft, so apparently White Weenie is popular now. I don't know. I mean, if you're him, what do you choose? It's not easy. So one possible play he could choose is he could choose Hero, and then if the Banisher Priest dies, then he gets his Hero back. I actually don't really want him. I think that's probably one of his better choices. Don't really want that to happen. Yeah, let's just take that. It sucks. But again, okay, so now we want to drag on away the fetters, I think. Now it's harder for him to push for damage here. He's gonna want to banish the priest probably the predator away. Man, this guy got tons of removal. Just have to hope Collected Company does some work. That was that. Did not do so much. Well, Predator can kill Honor the Pure. and then I can die, or I can die. That was insane. It couldn't have been much of a worse, but for me, evolutionary leap could have been good. I can't believe how bad that collected company was. That was just pretty freaking horrendous. I don't think I could have played that any better. So we're just gonna have to figure out what to do here. I mean, I think I have as much anti-white weenie tech as I can have in one deck. Leap is probably actually good because of all the Swords to Plowshares effects, although I may not have mana left over most of the time. But, I mean, I think it's probably good. Yeah, I don't know what else. I mean, Explore would help with just development early. Phantasmal Image isn't great. But I probably don't want to cut it. It's a 2-mana card that can be a 4-mana card, sort of. I guess I'll take the Leap out again and put the Explore in like I have been doing. I don't really see a lot else that I can do here. I'm going first, so Dissolve and Exclude have a little more value than normal. And I suppose if I had played the Collected Company sooner, and then I would have been able to get the Chasm Skulker on board, then I could have been, like, that could have worked out better, but yeah, sure. So we'll get the Skulker down, and we'll do the Genesis. I mean, this hand plays itself, whether or not how well it plays itself. I'll be right back. Get some light on in here. Nope, not gonna block. Oh. Well, Trauma Glaze a little bit here. No reason not to do X's 2, I think. I don't have to. At least it gives me something to do on the table. So, I could send the Chasm Skulker. He's not going to block, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm trying not to die, so let's just keep trying not to die. That has too many damage states. Like, I just can't get a handle on him. Crusades and Swords to Plowshares deck. If I play Freyalise, I could kill his Spear, and then if he plays Crusade, I'm probably dead. If I play Moloku, I can block I can potentially block all of his flyers. But if he has removal, then I'm potentially dead. There's really like no good right answer. But I will say that Moloku, if I play Moloku and untap, I probably win. If I play Freyalise and untap, I'm in a bad situation. So I'm gonna play to win and just hope that hope he just can't kill me. I was hoping he didn't hit a land first off, because now I know he's got Ace Fetters mana available. But yeah, see, there's nothing I can do. I mean, there's no way to stabilize here. I mean, I guess I should have played Frail. It's just, I guess you should have thought about what the implications were. He has more creature removal than anything else, so I suppose it would have made more sense. But this white weenie deck is pretty hard. I'm not sure like how to deal with it at all. I mean, Explorer's not going to do anything. Neither is Trails, so you might as well. Yeah, whatever. I don't know how to deal with the white weenie deck at all. Clearly, like, that's a problem for me. I did come out ahead, though, in that. In the last 2 games, I'm up. I'm down 40. But, I think I'll try one more. I'm going to have to come up with an answer for white weenie, though. It's certainly not, it's not easy or obvious, like, what to do about that deck. It's a pretty gross deck. And maybe that I just cannot play green and blue, and I have to play Wrath of God based control, which eats that for lunch. I find that to be like frustrating because you don't always get the cards for that, and but it may be that the white weenie deck just invalidates any other creature-based plan. I actually don't see any way that a creature-based deck can compete with the typical white weenie draw. So. Alright, so draft number 3 for the day. What are my options here? The thing is, I don't know, maybe, well, I'm not going to give up yet, but, and I'm not going to face it every time either. But, there is Splinter Twin combo. I could actually try to play that. I mean, I'm getting presented with Splinter Twin right off the bat. It's a good card anyway. I think I'll try it. I've never actually tried to draft that. Seems to go pretty well with Inferno Titan. Okay. There's Wake Pressure, feels good. Rider's Destruction. String Spear is really good. I think I'll just take String Spear. Helix. I mean, I may be in a totally different deck altogether. Thundermaw, there's Helix. If I dip into white a little bit, and then on the blue side we've got Manowar, Bone Splitter. Not really sure what's right here. I'll go ahead and take the Manowar though, because I know I want to probably try to blue red. So, wow, Sylvan Library. Especially in the combo deck. There's also Thassa. Either one of those is pretty good. This chain lightning, which is solid enough. I'm not passing the Sylvan, I'm just losing to it. Also, I saw a green-red duel earlier, so. I really need that for gross. This is gross. So I might have beat that guy if he didn't have spectral perception. I don't know. Or if I could have untapped with my worker, but the chances of that are almost none. I should have really thought that through. I mean, if I had played Fraley's in that last game and destroyed his Crusade, all they would have done is bought me an extra turn. I'm not sure that it would have actually changed the outcome. Alright, so there's Sprawl if I want to play like multicolor. There's Spike Shot Elder is pretty good. Can do. Pillar of Flame is solid enough. There's also Arbor Elf, which is okay. I already grabbed green for Sylvan. These cards aren't like so good that I'm compelled to play them. I'd rather have mana fixing. Well, Farseek, speaking of fixing, yeah, Farseek, Oracle, I think I'll take the Oracle. I don't even know if I'm in blue at all, but I'm sure that I probably want to be. Because, me. Still, I'm not going to be so locked into it that I refuse to draft a quality deck that could be available in other colors. Well, since I'm playing multiple colors, I think I'll take the Lantern. Now we've got two different multicolor fixers, and we've got a lot of really powerful cards, so I think we can make splashable things pretty much at will at this point. If I'm playing combo, then Anger of the Gods gets a lot better. The other card that's pretty good is Condemn. I'll take Anger, though. Can splash, it doesn't mean I have to. Also, I like this Ramp Titan business that I have going, possibly. Well, Outpost Siege is an incredible combo card with Sylvan. Red card drawing, I guess. So now it's just the Land Destruction or the Wake Thrasher. Wake Thrasher is such a threat sometimes. Avalanche Riders is pretty good too. I'll just take the Thrasher though. Either way, I probably don't want to see it played against me. Flashback is almost impossible on that, so it's just a bad Fireball or the Lightning Helix. I'd rather have Helix. Argadon or Greaves. I'm not a big fan of Greaves. There may be some Gargadon shenanigans I can pull, so we'll take that. Elder Pillar. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Pillar. And this is a great pick. More red card drawing. I got a lot of card drawing in my red, which makes me happy. Oh, there's one of my favorite cards in the format, Counterspell, but I'm not sure if we're going to be in that color. And there's another red card drawing effect. And there's also Primal Command, which is pretty good. Lightning Mower is okay. Oh, how can I not play blue? Bothers me. Still, Outpost Siege and Friends don't work as well with counterspells. If we want to be aggressive, I think we go Abbott and we hope that we can get the Scavenging Ooze. I think we'll do that. Stoke the Flames is really good. Sylvan Caryatid, another card that fixes really well. There's Ancient Tomb, but I think Caryatid gets the nod. The fact that it also blocks my attacks as well. Right, Viper, Thragtusk, Phantasmal Image. Well, of the three, I would certainly rather put a Splinter Twin on a Thragtusk, so let's do that. This is a deck where we have a lot of splash power, so we may want to splash. We may want to grab that Serendib. It's one of the few times when I'm looking at that. And his calculation's also pretty good. There's Mentor of the Meek. I don't have a lot of things to work with that, really. There's also, I thought, Confidant, which is kind of interesting. You can really outvalue somebody, like, pretty hardcore with Confidant. It's actually really interesting. I'm going to try it. This is a weird deck, but it's basically Jund, right? Potentially. I can but I have so many like get ahead cards, like do something and draw, or do something and get an advantage. Okay, so speaking of which, well, there's Dragon Lord, who's a house. There's Ral Zarek, which is pretty good. Eternal Witness is certainly a great card. Excellent Splinter Twin target. And Drain Sherman's one of my favorite creatures in the format. Take him. I don't know about this Dark Confidant pick. That's really like questionable, but there wasn't anything in the pack where I felt like I was giving up too much for the Confidant. So. Porphyros is interesting. It's a heck of a combo with Hermit. Porphyros. Porphyros. That's a scary card to have to deal with. That could be the way to go. God, that's gross. That seems like the way to go. Alright, a little bit of damage splitting, splashable removal, more damage, and then there's Young Pyromancer, instant or sorcery. How much of that do I have? Pillar of Flame, Searing Spear. I don't have a lot of it, but it is kind of one of those red value cards that has potential. I don't know, Pyromancer's pretty awesome. We'll take him. Alright, so wow, Chandra's awesome. So is Stormgloive. Red Boar is actually playable. I'm going to pull Confidant just in case, like I may not end up, I may just be two colors here. So Tarmogoyf for Chandra. Even more card drawing? Yeah, why not? So there's the Mauler. Fireball. Yeah, the chance to have hasty threats is probably too good. Okay, convoked direct damage is gonna work for me. I like that okay, but I'll take the Vipers, kills anything, and draws cards. None of these cards excite me, but Slagstorm, same reason I took Anger of the Gods, I think I'll take Slagstorm. Which is, I don't really want to play it against me for starters. I still don't like Krenko's Command. Delver is actually playable, but so is Ralzarek. I guess I'll take the Ral. Abrupt Decay is playable, splashable. Don't really want to splash again, even though I have like imminent ability to do so in this deck, but I might. Well, there's a card I could splash for. Bitter Blossom is another one of those cards, as we've demonstrated earlier. Plus, I could take the Bitter Blossom. Well, this guy's also insane. Seal of Fire is kind of good. This is okay. Bombardment actually can be quite good. Little item creatures. I think Black Splash is most plausible than the Blue Splash. I think we'll take the Blossom. Certainly feel dumb if I pass it and then die to it. So little mana fixing. Sarkin is pretty great. I wouldn't mind the Temple of Malady. I'm not sure there are other red players here, and I could wield the Sarkin, I think. Beetle back, I forgot what it is. Sheath, okay. I'm not even locked into playing red, so I'm going to take Sarkin and to playing black, so I'm going to take Sarkin and do this. Well, there's the best red card in the format, just about. I guess we'll take it. I mean, like the other cards. So like red's version of Counterspell. Yeah, all that. Take a dual land. Wow. Well, Incinerate, Batterskull, and Grim Lavamancer. Batterskull is quite the combo with Sylvan Library. But Incinerate's quite the combo with being red and Young Pyromancer and a lot of other things, so I think we'll do that. Beast Within is probably a pretty good insurance policy against some of the stupid things that can happen in the format. Imperial Recruiter is just a great card and allows me to go get Range Hermit or Oracle. Most likely Range Hermit. Empire is just, not too bad. I don't know, Recruiter could make it around. See, the thing is, since I'm not playing the Splinter Twin combo, I think I'll take the Beast Within. Siege Gang is a good pick for me. Range Hermit, Siege Gang both. Game. Rakdos is an interesting card. It goes back to that Black Splash being really good. There's also Artifact Kill, and then this Song of the Dryad, which is another insurance policy type of card. That thing's really slow. I won't think that in place here. Panic Vandal, Song of the Dryad, Rakdos, Return. I know if I'm my opponent, I don't want to get hit with Rakdos Return. I don't think there's a lot of targets for Manic Vandal. I'm going to take Rakdos Return in case it turns out like I kind of need it. Goblin Bombardment is looking really, really good in this deck. I've got a lot of token making stuff. Seal of Fire is also just a great card. Problem with Bombardment, the question with Bombardment, I can probably take out Pillar of Flame. It's a sideboard card. Does Bombardment actually like make the cut? Is the question. Seal of Fire is certainly good. Oh, we're gonna try Bombardment and see. And along those lines, we'll take this token making thing. I'm not likely to play Omnath, but if I splash black, I'm going to want the extra help with that. Court of Calling with Range Tournament and Siege Game and stuff, totally amazing. Lets you just go crazy. Wow, late pick Grimlock and that sort of work. Stormcurt's good. Banefire's good. I don't know what's better. Maybe the Noble's better, actually. Oh, awesome. I don't think we are going to dip into black. That's not a problem. This looks good. We actually have too many playables. And it's a nice problem to have. So, yeah, we need to pull some cards. Porphyros, we've got all these token making stuff, so Porphyros really, like, there's a big reward for playing that. All these beat-back chiefs and stuff, and it makes the bombardment stronger too. That's the other reason why I wanted it. I could also play Greater Gargadon actually, because you can stack the, stack the tokens and just rant and just have a 9/7 really fast. But I think that's kind of gimmicky. Lightning Mauler's not that good, I don't think. I'm not a super huge fan of Noble. It's put me under pressure before, but it's also a crappy top deck. You look pretty good in here. Sylvan and this is like I pay 4 life to take a Searing Spear and deal 3 to you. And I'm the aggro, it seems like a good deal to me. That's crazy. I only have 13 lands right now, so that's not going to work. I have too many freaking 4-drops. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this beat-back stuff, bombarding stuff, but I guess if any deck is ever going to play it, this has got to be the deck, right? So, what do I do? Suppose I can take out Beast Within and just bring it in out of the sideboard. I don't really want to give them blockers, but I can bring it in if they're playing something where I need early removal like that. I don't think I take out Court of Calling. The problem is, you make a bunch of guys for free, and then this guy's just so, it's just so crazy. So much strike damage. Mana curve's a little weird. I don't know. Splinter Twin is I guess it's powerful enough that it's just worth playing a little more slowly in order to make it happen. What the heck do I take out? Being able to choose dragons with outpost siege may actually be useful with goblin bomb. It seems pretty good. You can pick that up. It's like 14 lands. Not really. Although, I mean, I've got some extra ramp, and I've got some fixing here. Curated, Abbot can possibly fix it. So then, of course. At that point, a 15 plan is probably better than Lantern. Oracle. Actually, we do need to play more lines. We got Oracle. Maybe the Lantern doesn't belong. Back Chief is certainly like one of the weakest cards in. I guess I'll take the Lantern out. I really want to be doing other things than playing the Lantern. And then 15 lands I'll have to do. 10 and 5. Stomping Grounds is an extra forest for Utopia Skull. Craig. Over. Mountain, and that gives us 7 forests, which is nice for second color. 7 green, rather. 10 red. I think this looks pretty good. I think this is probably the way to go. We'll give it a shot. Anything else to say? Nope. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so we'll bring up that deck. I haven't played Green Red in a very long time, but I have played it. All these cards I didn't touch, even though they were available. It's kind of interesting. All those extra colors. Alright. Oh, I can't keep that. I have to keep that. I'm glad I upped the force count to 7. Yeah, there's a Splinter Twin just not being as good as it could be. But we'll see. At the very least, it keeps me from using the Splinter Twin. You got the ancient twin. We'll see what happens. Obviously, right here. Yeah. I'll technically clear out those flyers if I can get them down. Alright, well there's bombardment, not doing anything. Something comes of that. Of course it'll work nicely if I get twin going. Alright, so land would be incredible here. Alright, there it is. And because he's got the shaman and he's got maybe ramping, I'm actually kind of concerned with what this could do for his mana fixing. So I'm gonna do this. If he has removal for Titan, I can at least sack it to kill one of the flyers. He's actually taking a lot of damage. Alright, so if I play Splinter Twin and he has Swords to Plowshares Path to Exile, I'm in big trouble. He didn't attack with the planes, so I think he may not have those cards. I mean, sorry, he didn't attack with the flyers. If he had those cards, he would have certainly, wouldn't he have Path or Swords? You know, like, why would he wait? It doesn't make sense, so I think I'm going to go for it. Okay, he doesn't have any green, so get this going. Right, we want to kill that and oh, that's so sad. So this combat for the damage. And I don't really have a use for the wall there. I could just kill his wolf, but I think we'll go face with the bombardment. Because his wolf doesn't look like it's going to do much. Alright, awesome. Cool. Well, Splinter Twin Titan is, it was like, you know, hoping that we get the mana, but if we got the mana, good things were going to happen. So, there is Slag Storm, which is interesting because it's useful even if I decide not to go to kill each creature. He's playing a lot of, like, he's playing a lot of cards that I might like to sweep away. I think I'll try the Slag Storm. It's funny, there's so much card drawing in this deck and I didn't draw any of it. What to take out? Yes. To bring a Slag Storm in, I guess I could take out There isn't a lot. I could take out Bombardment. It's not the best card. Maybe. I guess I'll leave the Sykes for now. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Alright, well this has got some potential. We'll get up to Sarkin, whatever his name is. Sarkin the Dragon Sticker. But I usually like to bolt. I kind of don't like bolting a bird, but he's only got 4 cards in hand and 1 land in play, so we're going to do it. Probably was the right call since he just made no play. Alright, so we get down to Heroes. And back Walker. So do I let him diddle around with the Walker? Cord for 1. Do I have anything to really... I don't really have like good answers to the thing. I guess Porphyros isn't really like... It doesn't really combo with Sarkin. So... I think I just incinerate that now. Okay, so let's do Sarkin first. Sarkin food. Then we want to get Pharaoh's and during tournament. Should be pretty good. I'm just going to kill this guy because at this point he's got nothing, and now I've got board control, so we can start plussing up Sarkin. I was a little concerned about some damage anyway. Sure, I'll attack the threat. So I could Searing Spear away the beast. But I'm pretty sure flying indestructible and haste. Okay. Two mana creature that I want. No, probably should just play Drain Tournament here. It misses so much damage off the Porphyros. Because those 2 cards together deal 8 damage to the face. Nah, I'm just gonna clear this. If there's removal here, it's fine. Nothing's gonna go to bad, I think, for him. Well, I agree that appeared to be the right card, but turns out, yeah. That's so ridiculous. Whatever. So he was going to take 10 and drop the 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we could Court of Calling for 3 at that point, which wasn't quite enough to kill him. So we would have waited a turn and then played Young Pyromancer, and then Court of Calling, and then got the kill that way. It's pretty good. Looks like aggressive decks are definitely a way to win in this format. We were the first one's done by a mile. Look at, we just went 2 wins in 10 minutes. Nobody else is actually on their second game yet. Not too shabby. So I'm not sure about the Goblin Bombardment thing in here, but it seems like it's alright. I mean, this deck really wants to draw its token makers, and it has ways to do that. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this as far as experiment in green-red goes. Just clear out some sideboard that I'm not going to ever use. I actually don't think that the blue is strong enough. Well, probably not. Yeah, this isn't just redundant, it's strong enough. The black, on the other hand, though, that has some potential. That goes in decay. If the Noble didn't make the cut now, it's probably never going to make the cut. Same thing with Mauer, but I'll leave it alone. Yeah, Bitter Blossom and Dark Confidant. And Rakdos' Return. Could be reasons to be playing black. And maybe the deck would be better with them. Maybe if I took out some of the gimmicks. Like, okay, I could take out Bombardment. I could take out Court of Calling, as it seems like it could be. I'm just thinking about how I could sideboard to improve the deck going forward. So if I took those 2 cards out and I put in Bitter Blossom and Dark Confidant, there's also Abrupt Decay and Rakdos. But then I also need the artifact, so yeah, maybe not. Really, like, it's not like the cards in here don't make any kind of sense at all. I think it's fine. So it's going to be a while, probably before another game starts, so I'm going to go ahead and just pause this and use the phone and do some other things, and then I'll start it back up. There's 16 minutes, or no, I don't know how much time, what is it, 50 minutes in a round? Eek. Well, it could be a while, so hopefully it starts soon, but I'll see you in a little bit, and we'll go and pause it for now.